This is Lions on Tap, a weekly look inside the Lions Den. Highlights, interviews, and a look ahead to what's next for the Leos. Now, here are your hosts, Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski, and Bob the Moj Marjanovic.
This is BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Radio Network. It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, coming to you from Legends Pub in Richmond. Of course, BC Lions on Tap, a presentation of the good folks at Molson Coors, who are coming to you from Legends, of course, at the corner of Blundell and Garden City. My old friend, Glenn Jensen, one of the... See, when you talk lacrosse, Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski in the Western Lacrosse Association, you talk about the Jensens. They're like the Sutters of lacrosse. Glenn, Roddy, Greg, great lacrosse players. Played with Greg. He was a teammate of mine with the Richmond Outlaws, but it's just like he's a celebrity here, Biggs.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned the Sutters. You know how the Gretzky brothers are the highest scoring brother combo of all time? Mm-hmm. That's like you and same thing, right?
I don't have a brother that played in the WO.
No, but like same thing. Like he had a bunch of goals and you had a few. And
I had one.
Combined, yeah.
I had one.
You had a bunch of penalty minutes.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of stuff to get into. BC Lions with a dramatic come-from-behind win. And, again, if you're in the neighborhood, Legends Pub in Richmond, pop on by, Blundell and Garden City. The one thing I love about football, and I've talked about this over and over and over, and our next guest is even going to reiterate this, Terry Williams, who's standing by, Lions kick returner / receiver. Of course, if you watch the game on Saturday, you see what he did with a 10-yard return, Bakes? 120?
120,
yeah. I always talk about football being such a small world. Jamie Stoddard's here tonight, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber. He's the AD for Steveston High School, Steveston, London, and he's in the neighborhood. He's just having a couple of beers here. And him and Terry start talking. Terry's special teams coach in Ottawa, Bob Dice. Jamie's receiver coach in Winnipeg, Bob Dice.
Crazy.
It's crazy how, Terry, you got to agree with me, man. Football's always it's such a, you think it's vast, but there's always 1 degree of separation.
Oh, yeah. It'll bring you close as well. We had a nice conversation over there. So.
Yeah. So, Saturday, you guys made the impossible possible. Are you still kind of feeling that, or is the 24-hour rule in effect and you're kind of off that already?
I'll say, the 24-hour rule is in effect, but seeing the great fans that come in here and they're speaking about it, it'll take you back on and make you want to see the play again. But I love the game. It was a good one.
All right, speaking of the play, tell us the way you saw it, the way it went down, the kick return. I mean, did you have a return plan for the right, or did you bounce that to the sideline?
No, I'll say it was going on to the field. The coaches told me, if you miss it, bring it on out. If you got it, bring it out. So I seen where he kicked it to, and I, look when I caught it, I looked down and I seen the little opening, went straight to it, and the rest is history. All
right, in case you missed the call, I know you did because you were playing. We're going to run it for you right now. Lions looking for a miracle finish here. Leone gets this one off. Low spiral punt. Williams, 35, 40, cuts back to the middle of the field. 45, he's got a hole, and he gets to the midfield stripe at about the 53 with 37 seconds left.
You almost took that. I thought you were going to take that one back, too, though. I was standing there like, oh, my God, this can't happen, can it?
That's the second punt return. We're looking for the punt return that was the touchdown.
I wanted to take it
back.
Well,
see, it's funny because Julio and I both looked at that, and I said that earlier in the game, and that was the fact that you guys, on the returns, there were like a couple that you're really close to busting.
Yeah, we as a unit stay together. Like it was close with it. I mean, we want to keep building off of it, keep staying with it, keep going with it, and almost bust that one. So it'll happen.
Now I know lately when I call your name post practice for media, I know you're probably thinking, okay, they're gonna ask when we're gonna return one here. I know you don't pay attention to that stuff, but obviously it starts to wear on you. Just how satisfying was that in that regard? Because when they come out to practice tomorrow, they're going to be talking about the great stuff.
It's satisfying as a unit. The unit, we all work so hard. All players they go out there and block their butts off. They go in practice and meetings. We meet together, meet as a unit, talk together, see what I see, tell them what I see. We all so. It was very satisfying to see their faces and my faces when we crossed that line and looked and celebrated and we was all out of breath trying to celebrate and talk. We were putting together sentences, so we were just happy at the same time.
You came over from Ottawa, of course, in the trade just over a year ago, and up until playing there, I don't think you had too much exposure to the CFL. Just your thoughts on no lead is safe, still a possibility to win that game before that kick went back. What was it like to live a situation like that, Terry?
It was crazy. To be honest, that was crazy. In the CFL, if it's 2 minutes on the clock, that equal up to 12, almost.
Yeah.
Because in 3 minutes, it's going to stop the clocks. So you can never say it's over. Even if you up, even if I got the lead, I still would be trying to, do something to score again. But I'd never say it's over in the CFL. I love it.
Well, you said you played the wrong one there, but you could argue that punt return was just as important because it's pretty much set you guys up in field goal range to tie it. I know VA and the offense had other plans on that drive, but the momentum you get from that, like you had the touchdown, that's your first pro touchdown, and now you have that other big punt return. Like moving forward now, like you got to be the momentum sky high for you, right?
I'll say it's just a confidence booster as a whole and as a unit. Like we can do it. Just let them know we can do it. I can do it. I always believed I can do it. But it's a confidence booster for the guys that's blocking, or just for all of us. But knowing that we can do it, it might take some time. We can do it. So just stay with it. Keep blocking, and I keep running. That's the only thing I was doing. I was running. They was blocking.
It's interesting. Dan Campbell, the coach of the Lions, had a great quote after they knocked off Kansas City in the NFL opener. And somebody asked him, what did you learn about your team tonight? He says, I didn't learn anything. I knew that they were capable of this. That just kind of verified what I already knew. Kind of the same feeling with your group. You didn't really learn much because to do what you guys did, you have to believe that all the way along. And it just kind of verified the belief that you guys have in one another and your coaching staff and the trust that you have with the coaching staff and with one another.
Yeah. We all believe in everybody, like all phases, all the players believe in each other, all the coaches believe in the players, and the players believe in the coaches. It's just once we get that opportunity to make that play, then we're gonna make it. Like I had the opportunity to make the play, and I made it. Like we all believe we can make the play, so it wasn't now we believe we can do it. We knew we can do it. We just don't want to get ourselves in that position again. But if we do, we know we can get up out of it.
Yeah, you got that reference point now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're down 10 in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, hey, man, we came back from 19 in the fourth. We can do this. The one thing that really kind of, for me, just typified the night and your team, and props to Nick and Liam and all the shooters and Steve Chang on the sidelines during the game, and I'm sure you see a lot of the social media stuff. But that scene where Lucky's standing on the bench and Dom Rhymes comes over and they hug and they're just laughing and talking. I mean, to me, that just kind of, it's such a great example of the brotherhood that's on this team.
Yeah, that shows you, like, he's not playing right now, even though we want him out there. That's like the Megatron for us of the CFL, to be honest. But he's the guy we wanted, but he's always been while he's been out in our ear, brotherhood, brother, and we always listen. And it's like that with everybody, like me, Luck, everybody, like Alex. So it's you seen a little piece of what we always do at practice, in games, locker room.
Barbecue nights.
Great barbecue. I love the cornbread. Great barbecue nights.
Now you're talking. Yeah.
Rusty, if you're listening, fellows want more cornbread.
Yeah, cook them up. Nice ribs.
A big thank you to Rusty Johnson, Rusty's Barbecue, all the receivers who treated him one night. Okay, before we go, here's the actual touchdown return on the punt. Kick is up.
Missed it.
And he missed it. Williams is going to catch this, bring this out. 5, 10. He's got some blocking there. Up the sideline, 25, 30. Cuts back in, 40. He's got a shot. Can he get in?
He's going to go!
Score! Terry Williams, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, BC Lions. No flags. Now the question is, did he step out of bounds as he was dancing down that right sideline?
There's no referee that's called it.
And with 1:25 left to go in the game, the Lions are still in it. Do you know the one thing that I thought you might have stepped out of bounds, because the Ottawa bench was right there, and they were all like saying you'd stepped out of bounds. And then when I saw the replay, I think there might have been one step where you might have been half a yard from the sideline. But, I mean, at no time were you even close to stepping out of bounds there.
No, I wasn't, but I just heard the fans going crazy just then. Like, did you hear the great BC Lions fans? They were going crazy.
Yeah.
Love it.
There you go.
It was bedlam in there, yeah.
It was awesome. Bedlam. All right, we'll take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk to Terry Williams about his journey to the CFL. course, coming all the way from Tennessee, Martin, Mississippi. All of it, we'll get into it. And, of course, we're coming to you from Legends Pub in Richmond. Big thanks to the folks at Molson. And our host tonight, Glenn Jensen, of course, the famous Sutters of lacrosse, the famous Jensens of lacrosse, Glenn, Roddy, and Greg. Always a treat bumping into these guys. You're listening to BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network.
Now, back to Lions on Tap. Here again is Bob Marjanovic.
It's the Moj, Bob Marjanovic, coming to you from Legends Pub in Richmond. Of course, our on-tap feature presentation of the good folks at Molson. Of course, Legends Pub at Blundell in Garden City, the world-famous Jensen brothers, Glenn, Roddy, Greg. Two out of three are here tonight, so that's great. Of course, I always call them the Sutters of lacrosse. Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski from the Lions social media team, and, of course, the Lions Audio Network are here, as well as Lions receiver and kick returner Terry Williams. Terry, let's talk a little bit about the journey. I mean, growing up in Mississippi, tell me about going to school at South Haven High in South Haven, Mississippi. What was the childhood like?
I went to South Haven High. It was a place to be. Mississippi football Friday night lights, nothing like it. Play South Panola on the Fridays. Olive Branch, play against Olive Branch, Mississippi. I had great coaches, but South Haven High was a great experience. I learned a lot in high school. I learned a lot of learn how to play the game of football in high school. But South Haven High was a good journey in there.
The one thing I love about the U.S., and I was lucky enough to experience it when I played JUCO in the States, is that routine. Friday night, high school. Everybody goes to the high school games. Saturday, everybody goes to the college games. Sunday, everybody goes to the pro games. It's such a cool way they do it. And if you're in the right part of the U.S., and obviously Mississippi's a football hotbed, it's a pretty special place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And Thursday night also for JUCO. I'm a former JUCO player, but Thursday, you started off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Itawamba Community College, right?
Yeah, Itawamba Community College.
So what was that memory like, those memories?
Oh, that was fun. That was great memories. I was a walk-on in junior college and, had to earn it, and I earned it. But the JUCO journey taught me a lot. You had to do a lot, had to go through a lot, but it teaches you a whole lot. And you run into a lot of great people. Some of my best friends to this day come from JUCO, and they still my best friend. Like, they're going to call me right after this, and I'm going to talk about the game and everything else.
Did you cross paths with anyone there currently in the CFL or in pro football in those JUCO years?
Oh, yeah, my roommate, Alex Hollins. We played together.
Of course.
Played against each other in JUCO, and we played against each other in Division I, and we met back up in CFL, and try to make something special right now.
That was when you were both sort of part of Last Chance U, correct?
Yeah, just a little bit. I ran past the camera for about 5 seconds or something like that. I was on there for about 5 seconds. 5 seconds of fame.
He had a touchdown in that first season.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go back and rewatch that now.
Oh, yeah, he was a bad man. He still is, ain't he?
Still is.
He a bad man.
Well, you guys are like a package duo, too, for the practices in Surrey, and you guys live together, and you got Josh Pearson there, too. Like, I think I can hear you guys sometimes down the street and singing and dancing and all that. But how much fun do you have specifically with those two receivers that you live with?
Oh, yeah. It's like, we don't have, your family up here, but the old guys are family. Like, the whole team family, but, you got your Mississippi and Alabama guys. So we play the good blues, cook good, play some cards, play some dominoes, just play at the time, have fun.
Is that a big rivalry in Mississippi and Alabama, like between the states?
Yeah, at the end of years, we have a Mississippi-Alabama game for the high school, and you put the best in there.
Oh, really? So you have like a high school all-star game between the.
Oh, yeah. My best friend played in the Mississippi-Alabama game. He played for the Sacramento Kings. He could have went to the NFL, but yeah, I always tell everybody he beat y'all single-handedly.
And his name was
Terrence Davis Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing you touched on earlier, because Bakes brought up Last Chance U, and of course we know Tim Bonner, who played here for a bit, played at East Mississippi Community College with Coach Buddy, and I can't remember Buddy's last name. Buddy Steven, there you go. But you said basically what you saw in that show, all the JUCOs were like that. Like, they're all kind of like little helter-skelter and a lot of drama going on. And
I'll say you just have to go through a lot in JUCO. It's it put a light on the players what they all had to go through or something like that, or different. It's different, but you had to go through a lot in JUCO. You had to, it's not a lot to do, so you got to, go through a lot.
When I talk to athletes that aren't necessarily the biggest in terms of size, a lot of times I hear that lack of size really puts a chip on their shoulder, and they want to prove everybody wrong. I mean, great example is Adam Bighill in Winnipeg, and, talking to Adam when he got here and how he used that to motivate him. Pretty much the same with you, like people saying you're too small, there's no way you're going to be able to play this game, and it's a big man's game and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I got that from day one of middle school. I took a physical, and my coach looked at my physical, and he shook his head when he seen my weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I seen it, he do it, and I had a chip on my shoulder ever since. I was real small.
Okay,
so.
how define small?
I'll say about middle school, I was about 60, 70 pounds, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like what, 12, 13, 14 in that range?
Yeah, I was small, but I had a heart of a lion. I was a dog, so I used it.
When did you realize you could do something with football?
I say by my 8th grade year of football. Like the love and the passion I had for the game. I wanted, like my dream was always when I was in middle school. I wanted to start varsity. Mm-hmm. Went to varsity. I want to go Division I. I had to take a different road and go JUCO. That dream never stopped.
Great.
Oh no! I had a 21 on the ACT.
Oh, did you? You're good?
Oh yeah, I was good with the grades. It just was height. I told you it was height. I was small.
Okay, I got you.
I walked down the hallway. They thought I was a regular student.
Okay.
But yeah, I had that going. But I always had a dream that I wanted to always play professional football. Once I got to high school, I was like, I want to go pro with this.
So how did you wind up in Ottawa in the Canadian Football League?
After COVID hit, I started reaching out. The neg list, found out I was on that and got the opportunity then.
Did you know much about the CFL?
A little bit. It's just I knew about the motion, like the moving for the ball. And me and my friends used to talk about it. They were like, "What you got?" Like, "Yeah, I go play in the CFL. It's professional football. You playing against some of the best players." Like, Then I seen Chad Johnson, come up here. I was like, and he came back and he was talking about it before I came. I was like, "Yeah, I definitely go up there." Like, I would have went before he did that, but yeah.
And then you come up here and you see this monstrous field. You're like returning punts. Hey, by the way, you got a 5-yard halo. You're like, what?
Yeah, they was telling me a halo, but no fair catch. I was like, okay, I like that.
That's
I like that.
yeah.
And I get to do something with the ball. I like that.
Hey, before we let you go, Edmonton this Friday night. This is a different Elks team than what the Lions faced a couple of times already this year. Trey Ford's given this team a ton of confidence. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Clearly, this is going to be a good test for you guys on the road.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a great test. Trey Ford is a great athlete. He's playing a great quarterback. He's playing great ball. Running back's playing great ball. The defense, Luch. But I like our guys 10 times out of 10. The work we're going to put in, the work we have put in this whole season, I'm gonna take us every time. I like that. I like our unit.
Well, Terry, thanks so much for doing this tonight. Best of luck against the Edmonton Elks on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Williams, BC Lions, with the big kick punt return for a touchdown to get the Lions back in that game against the Ottawa Redblacks. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, Nick Kowalski's world-famous trivia. All the way from Richmond to Rhode Island, people are anticipating what Kowalski has up his sleeve tonight. All that and more coming up on Lions on Tap, coming to you from Legends Pub in Richmond. Of course, Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network.
Now, back to Lions on Tap. Here again is Bob Marjanovic.
Welcome back to BC Lions on Tap on AM 730 and the Lions Audio Network, coming to you tonight from Legends Pub in Richmond, corner of Blundell and Garden City. Big thank you to the folks at Molson. Big thank you to our host tonight, Glenn Jensen. Of course, the Jensen brothers. I always call them the Sutters of lacrosse. Roddy and Greg as well. Great guys. Played with Greg with the Richmond Outlaws. Bakes was having a fun time looking up my stats from 1988 and 89. Hey, 1 goal in 2 seasons wasn't bad for me. I was a role player.
And about 140
wasn't that
PIMs.
High. Wasn't that high. All right, this is what fans have been waiting for all day long, probably all week long, maybe even all month. Well, probably a week because it's only an interval of a week between Nick Kowalski's world-famous trivia. All the way from Steveston to St. Louis. People are waiting for this right now.
It's special teams related.
Special teams. I like that.
I wonder why, right?
Yeah, geez.
But let's test you guys' BC Lions return records.
Sure.
Knowledge.
Okay.
By the way, if you look up the CFL record book that they have online now, Terry Williams is already a part of it. His 155 missed field goal return yards on October 15th last season, that's the third most of all time. So Terry Williams is already a part of the record book. But so right now, Terry Williams is on pace for over 900 punt return yards. 3 Lions have done that.
Leon Bright.
Incorrect.
Wow.
Chris Rainey.
Chris Rainey is one.
Yeah.
942.
Larry Crawford.
Incorrect. He's the all-time leader, but he's
the all-time leader.
Lions returners.
Over 900 punt return yards in a season.
Jimmy Cunningham.
Incorrect.
Jimmy the Jet, good one.
What
What about Lockett?
You got Rainey.
We need 2 more that had 900?
Yep.
Okay.
In a
Lockett?
season. Nope.
Ricardo Lockett? No.
I'll give you years.
Aaron Lockett, not
Was
Ricardo
it Aaron?
Lockett.
I'll give you years.
Yeah, Ricardo played for the Seahawks.
2012 is a year that this was
Bakes,
done.
that's your
Oh, God.
right after they
Should
won
be
the
my
Grey
era.
Cup.
TB.
Tim Brown.
Yes. And then 1985 is the all-time leader. They only got to get 1,000 in a season, 1,148 to be exact.
1985.
Yeah.
Kenny Hinton.
Incorrect.
Wasn't Leon Bright. He said Leon Bright.
Leon was before that.
I'll give you initials. DC.
DC. Oh, come on, Moj.
Stumping you guys.
Jamie Stoddard should know this one.
Whittingham knows it, apparently.
Who's DC? Whittingham. Who is it?
Darnell Clash.
Darnell
Whittingham got
Yeah.
it. Darnell Clash.
There we go.
Clash.
Whittingham is
Nice.
on the board this year. There
All
we
right,
go. In
question
week 14.
Question 2. It was Terry Williams' 120-yard missed field goal return. That's tied for the 3rd longest in BC Lions history. So it's been done. A longer missed field goal return has been done twice. Can you guys have 2 names? We got 2013 and 1977 as
Well,
the
if you're going
years.
to go 2013, you want to go
2013
Brown
would
again?
be Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, 125 yards.
Okay.
And what was the other year?
1977, right? in
Leon
Moses.
Bright.
Incorrect.
No? 1977. Leon Bright, John Scherer, Rocky Long.
This is Moj's wheelhouse, man.
This is a 130-yard missed field goal.
100.
Initials.
So you got to
Initials.
catch that like right at the corner.
Initials.
KH gives it away.
Kenny Hinton.
Ken Hinton.
I already
you
said
go.
Kenny Hinton.
For the,
For
first
the other question,
Ah.
yeah.
All right.
How about this question?
That's
What-
a rolling. That's like Kenny Hinton should be a rolling response.
I think Baker will know this one. What 2 CFL return records does former Lions returner Ian Smart hold? CFL records.
Say again, what 2 CFL records? Does
Yeah, the returner Ian Smart. He has
I'm
2
going
of
to
them.
say
Longest kickoff return?
No,
highest punt return average in a season,
no, they're not punt return related.
or the kick return related. Highest kick return average in a season.
Not average.
Most kick return yards in a season?
Yeah, 1,805. That
Yeah.
still stands.
Wow. So
Yeah.
then he probably has most kick returns in a season as
That's
well.
the other one. 74
Most.
kick returns.
There
Can
go.
you guys name the 4 longest kick returns in history? Who did them?
Well, if you're going to
Well,
throw,
we just said
what about when
Oh,
you just
you're
said Kenny Hinton or Tim Brown? One of those guys,
those were field goals we did.
or the
right?
field goals.
That's incorrect.
So-
these are some odd
The
names.
4 longest kick returns in Lions history?
Yeah,
Kickoff returns?
You guys haven't even
Lions
named
history or CFL?
Lions. You guys haven't named any of these, so I might just give them out. Sammy
Initials.
Green is the number
Initials.
1. Well, SG, so Sammy Green.
Sammy Green,
Yeah.
ME? I don't even know this guy.
Monroe Ely.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go.
74.
Monroe Ely, baby, that's
And then-
worth 5,000 bonus points.
And then you guys named Rutley, and then you guys named Rainey, sorry, and then Brandon Rutley again. 2019 is the other one. So
Be right.
that's what I got for my
go.
special teams. You guys
Brandon
are- you guys are
Rutley
edu-
had one against Winnipeg, week 1.
So I'll
That's
tell
what
you a
it
little
is.
story. In the early 70s, the Lions had a linebacker from Alabama, or probably a running back from Alabama named Johnny Musso, who wound up going to the Chicago Bears. Monroe Ely came, and Monroe Ely, I can't remember where he played, but he went down and played for the Atlanta Falcons.
Huh.
Right?
Nice.
And they had another running back named Lou Harris. So like in 3 years, they had these 3 stud running backs. Monroe Ely was one of them. There you go.
That was a good
All
one.
right, before we get out of here, Bakes, what do we got coming up in terms of a home game, and what do we got that's special?
Orange Shirt Day game, Moj. You know what? 3rd annual one where we pay respect to Canada's National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. 10,000 new orange T-shirts. These are going to be awesome, so you want to get there early. The team will be wearing some orange warm-up jerseys to auction off the proceeds. It's an auction to go toward the Orange Shirt Society. Indigenous Marketplace, the Hallucination is going to play at halftime. DJ Osho back. So Orange Shirt Day game, always a special one. Hey, and it's a big one. Saskatchewan in town. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Could potentially clinch a home playoff game, but got to clinch a spot first this week.
People want more info. How do they go about it?
BCLions.com/Orange Shirt Day game.
All right.
$25 tickets starting.
There you go. So Bakes got all the info. And by the way, if you want to follow all the Lions news, check out what Nick Kowalski and the great social media team are doing on Twitter, or I should say X. And, of course, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. These guys have it covered. TikTok, they do an amazing job. Nick Kowalski and his crew. I mean, the recap you guys did, by the way, of the game was like every comment I read, chills down my spine. So great job, Nick.
He stayed up all night doing that.
Yeah, all night. So big
Gotta
props to Nick Kowalski. I mean, he loves what he does, and it shows in his work. All right, again, a big thank you to Glenn Jensen, of course, and the folks here at Legends Pub in Richmond, and a big thank you to the folks at Molson for having us here tonight. Great night reuniting with the famous setters of lacrosse, the Jensen brothers. Just a reminder, we do have a broadcast Friday. Lions in Edmonton to take on the Elks. Resurrection Spirits pregame show will begin at 5:30. Kickoff at 6:30 on Friday night on AM 730 and the Lions Radio Network. You know what I'm going to tell you before we get out of here? Hey, baby, if you're down by 17 in life, keep plugging away. You never know what's going to happen. Do what you got to do. Just do us a favor. Be safe.